Hello all, and welcome to a very special beer review tonight. I'm going to be reviewing a beer I've been having in the refrigerator for a while. I decided it's finally time to go and crack it open. Got this as a birthday present a few months back. So, it's Traquaire. Someone who knows how Scots pronounce things probably should correct me. Traquaire? Traquaire? I know. Traquaire? Traquaire House Ale. Ale fermented in oak barrels. Now this is a wee heavy, or Scotch ale, obviously produced in Scotland. It's a aged beer, and this is a handmade ale brewed in the ancient brew house in the oldest inhabited house in Scotland. 7.2 ABV, obviously meant to be aged a couple years. In fact, they say good until about 2018. I can't wait that long. So, Traquaire House Ale is a traditional Scotch ale or wee heavy produced at the tiny Traquaire House Brewery located in the oldest inhabited house in Scotland. Brewed in a 1738 copper kettle and fermented in oak vessels, it is a rich, complex, and deep with firm but elegant flavor. The famous Bear Gates guarding the approach to Traquaire House near Peebles have been closed since 1745, when the last person to pass through them was Bonnie Prince Charlie. And looking up this brewery, it seems like a lot of their beers have a strong Jacobite theme to it, which I kind of find really interesting. You don't really think of, unreconstructed Jacobitism anymore in Scotland, but apparently there are some, and they've been brewing beer for quite a while. So, using a Belgian glass today, not a Scottish thistle glass, but it shall do. It's probably a wee bit too cold right now. Pulled it out of the refrigerator a few minutes ago, but that's okay. It says 45 to 55 degrees. It'll warm up some. It's going to be a fairly long review. Interesting. Rich buttery notes to it. About a finger's worth of head. A beautiful reddish amber brown color. Head's pretty thin, but very redolent. Butterscotch. Stewed fruits. Hints of wood. Raisins. Dried figs. Yeah, it's definitely too cold. This is going to have to warm up some. The finish is just absolutely lovely. It's a very, almost like a port-like finish of raisins, but given a nice, very slight hop bitterness, very old world style floral hops. I'm going to guess Fuggle hops. Despite the raisins and dried fruits and butterscotch in the bouquet, it's actually not very sweet on the palate, though that might change as it warms up some. It's definitely too cold right now. So I'm giving it a full hand grasp. I want to get this thing warm. High notes in the mid-palate to finish are of oak wood. You taste that aging that's undergone it there. The barrels have left their mark. very smooth and creamy mouthfeel. That said, it doesn't really come across as desserty. It's actually, well, now there's a sweetness coming up, but it's still very slight. It is very dry compared to other heavy ales that I've had. It's still sweet, but dry in comparison, if you catch my drift. So you kind of know the sort of cloying taste that you can get with a barley wine or a barrel-aged stout. Not here. Slightly boozy, but it goes very well with the intensity of the flavors here. It's warming up a bit, and I'm getting a lot of raisins on the tongue. Delicious, delicious, sweet, juicy raisins. Still not very sweet. The predominant taste note is of the oak aging. Dried fruit interplay in the front. Front's opening up. I'm liking it. Again, a lot of notes like port to this. It's almost like a lot of those port notes of thick, juicy fruits, dried fruits. I'm going to say a tawny port, but with that sort of whiskey-like oak note as a primary, and those sort of porty, dried fruit notes playing a supporting role. Port notes playing a supporting role. I made a pun. Yeah, those raisins are just coming across the finish just wonderfully. It's this sweet, raisiny, almost nutty too, nutty as well in that finish, playing well with that wooden taste and that mild hop, old world hop bitterness. Extremely well balanced, extremely nuanced. This would make a great precursor to, say, something, a Scotch that's been aged in sherry barrels. Honestly, yeah, Scotch that's been aged in sherry barrels. It's actually a very, a Speyside or a Highland Scotch that's been aged in sherry barrels. There you go. Sherry or Madeira or port. I've only had sherry casking for Scotch, but I'm guessing that it would also be strongly reminiscent of those Scotches that have been aged in port barrels or Madeira barrels as well. Some minor smoky notes, but that just might be my brain playing tricks on me. I'm going to pour out the final share of this bottle, give it a little bit more head. Head subsides fairly quick on this. Lovely nose. It's a shame that the head fades so quickly. That's where a lot of that you know, the bouquet comes from is from the head, it fades very quickly. So it blasts pretty quick. You know, it's very strong, but, you know, as it's gone, as you can see, it's mostly gone now. You know, the bouquet sort of diminishes. I really wish I had a Highland Scotch to go with this, or Speyside, or a Lowland. I wouldn't go with an Islay, I know that. Isla. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get slammed for the way I pronounce Scottish words here. You know, this is what Scotch ales / wee heavies are like. I really need to get more into this style. The butterscotch really doesn't come. The heavy butterscotch in the nose doesn't really come across in the palate. It's more in texture. It's. I should mention though, it's not very heavy in the mouth. The mouthfeel is only about medium. It doesn't come across as thick or syrupy or all that chewy. That said, it's still very good. It's still intense in flavors while not being overwhelming. I have to say my favorite part is the finish. I just love that, you know, how the intensity of the oak in the beginning sort of fades there, and that sort of raisiny sweetness ramps up with that hot bitterness and, you know, slight florals. It's just a beautiful finish there. Yeah. Well, I am going to go and pop open a glass of Scotch. Unfortunately, I only have Islay malts right now. Islay single malts right now. It'll have to do. It just seems like right to pair it with that. So, Traquaire House Ale, great Scotch heavy, traditional Scotch ale / wee heavy. Great for restoration, Jacobite restorationists, I suppose. And I forget what it is to go and toast. Oh, I believe it's slante or something. That's how you toast in Gaelic. So slante. Oh, again, I recommend this. It's a style you don't see much American brewers doing. It's changing somewhat. I've seen clown shoes come out. Believes with Scott Wee Heavy. Same with the people who go and brew Arrogant Bastard. I can't remember the name of their brewery, but they brew Arrogant Bastard. They also have a Scotch ale. It's a style that begs to be explored more. So, there you have it, folks. Get this if you find it for a unique beer drinking experience. If you like Scotch, definitely try Scotch ales. They definitely have that taste of Scotland in them. Yeah, as it's warming up some, it's opening up even more, becoming more intense. That's just wonderful. So I'm going to have my Scotch, sip it with this, and enjoy the rest of the night. Slante, and good night.